Okay, young coach, we're helping with his demos. Good player, wants to make a career in coaching. What we're going to do is watch his first serve, 3 angles. We'll watch his second serve, 3 angles. We'll watch it at regular speed. What we tell people, the dimensions of the court and physical laws dictate stroke production. No coach's opinion or any unique theory. There's not a right or wrong way to hit a tennis ball. Efficiency, the economy of motion, least amount of moving parts, least amount of muscle recruitment. The athlete's a biocomputer. He has to deprogram or reprogram. He has to make some adjustments. He has to go through some unlearning. Brain memory. It's not muscle memory. The muscles don't store memory. Grip, swing, and body. Has a continental grip. He sets the hand to set the swing. What you want to do to have the racket formulate its swing pattern, it's the shoulder going first. The opposite and equal reaction is the elbow to go back. So the first part of these slow motion analysis tapes is just this, preliminary information looking at regular speed. Second is a narrated slow motion analysis, and then third is an on-court or classroom review. Just what a player does from his toes to his nose, what he does with his eyes. He looks straight up. The toss is slightly high, it's slightly to the left. Now, Peter Burwash, be 2% selfish when you're giving a tennis lesson. He can work on his own game. He's only 24 years old. At 34, he could be a much, much better player. You know, from a demonstrating standpoint, he really only has 2 flaws that we would say, okay, communication is 70% nonverbal. We don't want students emulating what he does on his forehand. He has a little glitch on his forehand or on his serve. Again, but it's not wrong what he does on his motion. And with every player, you can find idiosyncrasies, slight nuances. Okay, from the side view, okay, now you are up on your back toe, your weight's forward. That left arm being out in front. Again, your arm is too straight, it's not loose. You don't want to play the blame game, but if you were to play the blame game, you'd want to go back to how you were very first taught tennis, and many times people are taught down together, up together, and it's just arm movement. Now here the left arm is parallel to the baseline, but the body didn't turn. So there's a difference. Right arm is straight. Now you point the racket up to the sky, you set the hand, you don't set the swing through. The shoulder going forward first, elbow second. Now the toss on a second serve, you bring it in slightly in 2 directions. In towards your body and in towards the baseline. So you don't literally toss the ball over your head. Now the contact point, the number 1 reason you change strokes is the prevention of injury. You're still a very young guy, but as you get older, the elasticity fibers in your tendons going to be a lot greater chance for error. And it's certainly very deceiving when you watch players at the highest level. It looks like they're tossing over their head, but it's because they turn their body so much to the right. The hand gets too close to the head, and again the contact point's too far back. Okay, the right foot behind you gives you a false sense of body rotation. It supports the toss over your head. Left hand's too far down, not turning the body sufficiently. Right arm is straight. You have to get more than sideways to stay sideways. You haven't coiled. You have to coil properly to uncoil properly. Now the racket, even though you set the hand, the racket does go between your elbow and your head, goes around to the side, and you have the right arm going over the left arm. Now on all shots, you're blind to your target. Serves and overheads, you swing away from your target. Now one flaw creates a counter flaw. just the toss alone. When the toss goes too far to the left, you have to change the angle of the racket path and the racket slows down. Okay, now you can see where you're facing forward. And again, you land where you started. Okay, let's go to the court. Okay, Connor, grip, swing, body. First of all, you're okay with a continental grip. The base knuckle and the heel pad are on the second panel. This is 1, this is 2. When it comes down to the swing, you get to this position and then you set your hand. As you set your hand, now your elbow points downward. The swing goes 450 degrees. The speed of the backswing has nothing to do with the power supply. So you turn, now it's 90 degrees here, and now the racket goes 180 degrees. Now, the best players, you can't see it with the human eye, the racket goes approximately 5 feet this way. That's what we mean by the horizontal plane or clear the shelf. So what happens when you set your hand and your elbow comes down, your hand is too close to your body. So now this distance is going to be much shorter this way with your body. So grip, swing, body. Your stance, front foot's at a 45, back foot's parallel to the baseline. You're a little bit more on shoulder width apart. But in the deuce court, you put your right foot behind you, which supports the toss going over your head. It gives you a false sense of body rotation. Now, consistently, what you want to do is put your weight on your front foot. You need to have your arms bent and be loose, like a baseball player taking the ball out of the glove. But what you do is you let your left arm go down to the point, it goes way, way below your belly button. Your right arm, it's very good how the wrist is down in this position, but you slightly fan the racket as you straighten your arm. Connor, you want to keep your arm bent in this position. So you get to this position, now with a toss, you're tossing this way. You're looking straight up, and you toss where you look. Just program your swing, and then toss to your swing. Now you have good height. You're landing on the baseline, first and second serve. When you hit the ball, your shoulder socket should be in front of the baseline, especially off the first serve. So now your arm and racket are about the same length. So 27, 54 inches, plus a little further than the baseline. So you're 6 feet way into the court when you toss the ball, even exaggerated. Now 6 feet would be exaggerating. I mean, Roddick was 4.5 feet inside the court when he would hit his serve. Now, with your serve, go slow in the beginning. Come back to this position. Now you're going to arc the ball like you're hanging on a glass of water, make the letter J, tossing out at 1 o'clock. Now the last segment of the kinetic chain is going to be your forearm going out in this position. But remember, your toss, even on your first serve, is high and to the left like this. The primary flaw, the art is where you start. So if we can knock over dominoes, we take care of the first flaw. If you really could work on being in this position, so we could take the racket and just throw it. Okay, we call it the third base drill. Get right to here, just serve from here. Shadow swing 1, hit 1. With the Elvis Presley drill that we do, you're on the skateboard. Application. We're going to make you hit the ball where you hit it straight down, where the toss is way out here. An Elvis Presley drill we do, you're going to face forward and turn like this. Now bring your foot back and turn this way. Hit more than sideways to stay sideways. On the second serve, you bring the toss in this position. So closer to the baseline, closer to your body, but not literally over your head. Even your first serve is too far to the left. But you're going to have this look. Now you do let your left arm go parallel to the baseline, but then you come back out and go like this because you haven't turned. You want to get your body more than sideways in this position. Now you swing your toss, arcing it forward like this. That's why we do a drill where you grab 3 balls and you jog forward and you can serve on the run. It'd be more difficult for you to do that because you would be tossing over here. Lastly, a drill we did this morning with you is toss the ball out to the side, throw sidearm. Bring the toss a little bit higher, and then go here. And then out at 1 o'clock, this position. Okay, so on the serve with the stance, you can bring the back foot up, the pinpoint stance. But what you want to do is you want to load first, to really turn, and then you bring this back foot up for additional body rotation. But while you're working on just adjusting your swing, don't even worry about the stance. Just use a platform stance. Peter Burwash, once again, be 2% selfish. When you're out practicing, work on your serve. You're going to get a chance to hit with players that are very skilled, young players. But just when you're playing with them, just go very, very slow and then go from here. Now, lastly, though, is really with your game overall, you hit the ball well. You have a little glitch on your forehand that we can address. But when it comes down to demonstrating, if communication is supposedly 70% nonverbal, it's going to be very important to demonstrate your serve like this, opposed to having your serve look like this and facing straight ahead. And every time you're going to end up into the court. All right, thanks a lot.